Target Trading Academy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Preston Vogl here at Target Trading Academy with today's Micros Market Recap. It is Monday, August 28th at the close of New York, just past 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Man, it's already the end of August. Time flies when you're having fun. So starting us off with micro oil, we opened pretty much at that close from Friday. Had some good movement, and then they shot up. Couldn't really penetrate beyond this or much beyond this HVA edge. Remember, these are drawn at the very least the night before. Seeing as it's the weekend, these were drawn Friday night, but published for our students Saturday morning. And then it just retraced back down to where we pretty much opened and they couldn't break new lows. So not the largest of range, and that's pretty much how it was for all of our markets. Not a very large range. It was definitely a slower day. Definitely a Monday. Mondays are usually like that, but we are finishing slightly net positive in oil. As far as gold goes, excuse me, we opened above that close. That was around here. Shot up, came down, pretty much snagged it, and then they started climbing, and then around 12 o'clock they just shot back down, but not a whole lot of activity in that market either. It was a slow day with very little potential entries, mainly trending entries in gold, and not, well, I mean, there's potential trending entries in the equities as well, but it it, it was not that great of a day. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you, but we are finishing positive in gold. As far as our equities go, yes, we did finish positive in them as well, but we opened gap up well above the range and close in those markets. So if we scroll back here, I believe that prior high was right here from Friday. We opened, went sideways real quick, and then you know what? We got buyer sentiment, and they tried to bring it down, but buyers kept buying it up. You can see it just became a fight all day long, and they fought here. If you just look at these time frames, a good almost 20 minutes fighting and just going sideways. And then they dropped down, letting the sellers win some, and they had a response off that range high. And you can see another fight ensued for the rest of the day. And then as we got to lunch, those sellers, you know what they said? I'm going to go to lunch. And when they came back, they were like, oh, whoa, this is too high for us. So they dropped it back down, and you can see that fight ensued once more, gaining very little ground. And then ultimately, towards the end, the buyers won out as the sellers left the realm, or the fighting ring, you could say. And we are closing net positive on the day. It's a very similar story in the NASDAQ. Again, abysmal day. A little bit more opportunities, I would say, in the NASDAQ. I will say that with a grain of salt, though, because the risk was high. You can see how many times we got at this edge. You can see after they came back from lunch, they were responding off that same edge frequently. And the same goes for the one above it. It's just too many times in an area, but the opportunities were still there nonetheless. So we did open gap up, had that same initial sideways, and then move up, and then they had that drive down, and then the fight began. And much like the ES, it was a struggle, but unlike the ES, the NASDAQ usually has larger swings in them. It's a little bit more volatile with its participation, so the spreads are usually a little bit wider. It's not usually a tick spread. It can vary, and so you see larger bars on average. But you can see they did end up driving it back into range. They never really quite got to that close, which was well below us still. And that fight just kept going, and they just couldn't gain that ground that they wanted to. And ultimately, once they left for the day, there's that lunchtime move. And once they left for the day, what happens? It moved up again. So abysmal day for traders to be trading. Very few opportunities that were, those first time or second time opportunities that you're really looking for and nailing and just hammering them home. But plenty of opportunities nonetheless if you're still waiting and patient and sitting around for them. But we did finish positive in that market as well. So we're positive in all of our markets today. If you are interested in learning more information about these levels, about the methodology, reach out to us. We are Target Trading Academy. You can find us on Facebook or go to our website at targettrading.co. Get in touch with us at either location. We'll gladly show you what we do in our rooms each and every day, and you can be the judge for yourself as to why we are the number one trading education company in the world. We look forward to seeing you there.